Well, guys, as you can pretty clearly see, most of crypto has taken a hit today. And what I'll be focusing on, as usual, is going to be mostly XRP Ripple news. There's a little bit of an update going on with the Clarity Act, and then we'll also look at the price movement, the price chart for XRP at the end of the video. And let's go ahead and get things started. So the first thing is from Crypto Rover. US Senate puts Clarity Act on hold to prioritize Russia sanctions bill. The vote is now unlikely before next week, leaving only the final days before the Senate's August 8th recess. And I agree, stop these delays. The thing is that this is not a for sure thing. It is unlikely before next week. But yeah, I would say personally, in my own opinion, it's not looking good. We're probably not going to get this passed before August 8th, but we can be hopeful. Maybe we'll end up seeing this have some sort of an extension. They'll have everybody continue working. But as it is right now, it's looking very, very unlikely. And there's another follow up with this. So the SEC chair, Paul Atkins, just laid out the fallback plan. He said, I'm optimistic that Congress will pass the Clarity Act, but listen to what comes next. The SEC is ready, willing, and able to come out with rules, either to implement the bill or if Congress fails to act. The top securities regulator in America just said crypto rules are coming either way. We need the certainty of a statute that will help future proof so that we have clear direction to go forward. That's the preference. A law, not agency discretion, but the message underneath it. Washington is not debating whether crypto gets regulated, it's debating whether Congress or the SEC writes the rules. Congress passing the Clarity Act is the clean path. The SEC acting alone is the backup. Either way, the era of regulatory ambiguity is ending. And what's really important to note here, he says that he's optimistic that Congress will pass the Clarity Act. It doesn't say that he knows that it's going to pass. It's just basically how he feels. And on top of that, too, it's not saying before that recess. It could be afterwards. It's more than likely going to be afterwards. I think everyone should be preparing themselves for that. Hopefully it's sooner, but as it is right now, it's definitely looking like it's leaning much more to being later. Okay, up next, we have Ripple's ID. Ripple MasterCard partnership deepens. So here's some context. Look at March 2026. Ripple joins MasterCard's crypto partner program. Over 85 firms linking blockchain rails to MasterCard's payment infrastructure. In June 2026, Ripple named in MasterCard's Agent Pay for Machines ecosystem for AI agent payments. July 14th, 2026, Ripple becomes a premier member of the X402 Foundation alongside Visa and MasterCard. And ongoing MasterCard, Ripple, Gemini, and WebBank are working to settle Gemini credit card transactions in RLUSD on the public XRP ledger. Announced at Swell in November 2025, with MasterCard having targeted a first half 2026 go live. That last one is the one that matters. WebBank issuer of the Gemini credit card is testing settlement of MasterCard transactions in RLUSD on the public XRP ledger. One of the first times a regulated US bank settles traditional card payments with a regulated stablecoin on a public chain. Traditional card settlement takes 1 to 3 days. This is the rail being tested to replace it. RLUSD launched under New York Trust Charter in December 2024 and has passed over $1 billion in circulation. 4 moves in 4 months. That's what deepening looks like. You guys can follow Ripple's ID if you want to stay up to date on a lot of these things going on. And up next, we have from Vet. Yes, very glad to see this. And in my opinion, a lot of potential is here. And they'll explain in a minute, but let's see what's highlighted. Deposits and withdrawals through networks other than the guided network are not supported. What's being identified here? The network XRP ledger. Digital assets, RLUSD. Let's go. So Korea is a major holder of XRP with a very passionate community. Upbit is the largest XRP holding exchange with over 6.4 billion XRP. High trading volume between XRP and KRW, that's the Korean won. Now supporting RLUSD deposits and withdrawals on XRP ledger with KRW, Bitcoin, USDT trading pairs. So why is this so interesting? because Upbit has now the infrastructure to support any XRP ledger issued assets and opens the door to more integrations. Doesn't need to be even directly. They are the hub to onboard new people to the XRP ecosystem in Korea. And with the upcoming lending and borrowing feature on the XRP ledger, they could unlock for their users the over 6 billion XRP to earn yield, all native, secure, and without smart contract risk on the XRP ledger. RLUSD opened a lot of doors for the XRP ledger to be deeper integrated with major platforms and institutions. XRP everywhere, and now other XRPL features like issued assets are everywhere. And up next, XRP rich list barrier falls as wallets top 8 million. The XRP ledger has surpassed 8 million wallet addresses, marking a new network milestone. Latest wallet data shows holding 2,151 XRP is now enough to rank in the top 10% of holders. The requirement has dropped from roughly 4,000 XRP as ownership spreads across more wallets. Around 44,000 XRP is now enough to enter the top 1%, according to the latest distribution data, and this is from CoinGape. So yeah, if you want to make it into the top 10%, it's definitely easier. When it went from 4,000 down to the 2,151, it's almost a 50% reduction. So it's reasonable. A lot of people could try to afford or could afford this if they actually really wanted to get in the top top 10%. But if you wanted to get in the top 1%, 44,000 XRP, about $1 a piece, $44,000. That's a little bit more steep. Some people may dollar cost average into something like that. Some people may already have been there. Some people may have gotten this when it was even cheaper, or bought it when it was up high and they just held on through this. But, you know, we're talking 10%, 2,151 XRP. At current prices, it's a lot more feasible. Up next, AI agents are using the XRP Ledger X402 facilitator to produce better research by paying for proprietary data. That's most of the over 1 million AI agent transactions currently on XRP. You ask a research question, the AI agent can access data behind a paywall by paying for it via the XRPL X402 facilitator. Very cool. And also, Clear Creek Financial Management disclosed a Bitwise XRP ETF position, 11,621 shares, valued at $135,501 as of the June 30th reporting period. So about 1 month ago. And we have from Chad Steingraber, he's saying absolutely, but what is he saying this to? It's from Ash Crypto first. So XRP is now at its most oversold levels ever, down 72% from its all-time high. It has hit a 2-year low near $1 last month. Monthly RSI is now more oversold than during the 2020 COVID crash. So he says, yeah, absolutely. XRP at its most oversold levels in its history. Do you guys agree? We're seeing XRP pushing pretty close to $1. I feel like it's oversold, but it's just my opinion. And from Evernorth XRP, what does XRP actually do? This. Value can flow in, settle with finality, and flow back out. Every major function institutions rely on is in development on the XRP ledger. 5 native capabilities in development on XRPL, a third-party protocol Evernorth does not control. These features are in development, may change, and may not be released. And from BSCN, Flare cuts XRP DeFi onboarding to a single signature. Flare Networks has shipped Smart Accounts version 1.3, letting XRP holders mint FXRP and deposit into a yield vault with 1 signature from their existing XRPL wallet instead of 2. The Flare data connector verifies the XRPL transaction, and a smart contract handles the rest, with the original XRP staying locked on the XRP ledger at 1-to-1. The update adds the ClearStar Flare XRP yield vault next to the existing Monarch vault and widens wallet support to Ledger, Xamin, Joey Wallet, and Wallet Connect options. Flare says FXRP deployed across DeFi has climbed from 82 million to 144 million since February, with more than 40 million XRP earning across roughly 24,000 smart accounts. And from DLT, they say oil at $200 loading. Japan won't hold out much longer. The collapse is closer than ever, as is the adoption of XRP. This is following the fact that's being reported that Saudi Aramco shuts down its 400,000 BPD Jazan oil refinery after a Houthi attack. And from Chad Steingraber, days since inception of the XRP ETFs, purple, and you can clearly see that these are all outperforming Bitcoin's ETF history. So with Bitcoin, it looks like it's that black line. So we've got Ethereum. It took a little bit of time, but yeah, it went above. And then XRP, Solana, and Hype, all of those are also above. And now we take a look at what's going on with the price movement very quickly here, just to let you guys know. It is down about 1% on the day. A pretty steep candle yesterday. Volume itself looking fairly high, not as high as what we've seen for other days. So it looks like it leaned a lot more on the sell side than having that buy pressure come in. And on the new day for today, we hit a low about $1.04. We're up about 1 cent above that right now. As it is, we are down below the bottom line of the Bollinger Band, which is not great. We are also below the median line of the Fibonacci retracement zone. So that's at about $1.13. We're close to $1. I would suspect if we head to $1, pretty decent chance that we bounce off of it. But if it does fall through, keep an eye on 86.5 cents. That is the next level of the Fibonacci zone. Pretty substantial drop, but it might flash crash. And then we might see a lot of people get liquidated. We might see it start to bounce back. We'll have to see how that moves. If we get above $1.13, then keep an eye on these next levels. $1.16, $1.18.5, up here at $1.20, almost $1.29, and then back to $1.40. That's what I got for you guys in today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up like button. It is greatly appreciated and helps out. We'll see you guys in the next video. God bless. Peace.